So my first question related to the first game against India that didn't go England's way. So according to you, what went wrong for you guys?
I mean, I think we didn't have enough runs on the board. I think that was pretty obvious at half time. We felt short, but we knew if we got some early wickets, we might have a chance. Obviously, Smitty had other ideas. So, yeah, I thought India played really well, actually. I thought they bowled particularly well up front, and we just weren't able to counteract that, I don't think. So, yeah, I think there wasn't enough runs on the board, and then I don't think we particularly bowled that well either. So, not our best game.
Yeah. And your remarks about your captain, Amy Jones?
Yeah, I think for Amy, it's obviously it's a bit of a strange time for her. She probably didn't come into this series knowing that she would captain. I thought she did a brilliant job in the T20s to take it up so quickly. And I think that the main thing for us is that we're a young team. There's a lot for us to learn. And the best way to learn is by doing. We learned a lot from the game yesterday. So hopefully we can turn it around and get the win on Wednesday.
Yeah, since you spoke about Wednesday's game, so what things would you pick up from the first ODI's loss? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I think like the batting, I think we just need to extend our partnerships for a little bit. I know that sounds a bit simple, but yeah, I think if we can get 30, 40 more runs on the board, then that game on Sunday would have been a lot closer. And I think with the bowling department, I just think we probably need to tidy up a little bit. I actually thought Yastika and Smitty batted really well together. Smitty didn't really give us a chance until she got out. And I think we've just got to try and build a bit more pressure where we can and try and force some wickets and hopefully put some more pressure on the Indian batting lineup.
But you certainly broke a million hearts because Smriti was out for 91.
Yeah, I got a few messages on Instagram and Twitter saying that I've broken some hearts. So sorry about that. But yeah, it's personally for me, it's always quite nice to get Smitty out because I know how much of a key player she is. Obviously, we need to get her out earlier to give ourselves a better chance of winning games. But yeah, I thought she batted really well again yesterday.
And since you spoke about your Instagram profile, I have been following you for the past couple of years now. And what can I mean, observe that throughout the year, you are heavily involved in cricketing activities. Someday we see you playing for your country. The other day you are in the 100. Then you come to India, play for the Velocity. Then you also go to the Australia for the BBL. And in the meantime, you also make your appearance in the Combox. So I just want to know how do you, I mean, juggle all these roles, how you keep up your fitness and especially the workload management. How do you do that?
Yeah, it's quite difficult. But do you know what? It's something that I enjoy so much. I love playing cricket. So even though it's hard work doing the training sometimes, you know that you're doing it for the right reasons. And if I'm fit, it means I get to play more cricket. So it's a win-win. And the commentary stuff I love doing as well. I find it really interesting to look at the game from a different point of view. And I have so much fun with the people that I get to work with. I've been very lucky to work with some incredible names. You know, people that I looked up to when I was a kid. So I think it's about enjoyment, but I think it's also about being quite disciplined and knowing when and how to work hard.
Since we spoke about being involved in so many cricketing activities, I would like to draw your attention towards Nat Shiva, who's recently pulled out of this India tour. As she said, she needs to look after her mental health. And in the past, we have also seen many male players doing it, you know, taking a break just to look after their mental wellness. So since the game is changing every day with every year, how important it is to, you know, plug off yourself from the game, take some time off. How does it help a cricketer going ahead?
Oh, it's so important, especially coming out of the COVID era where, you know, a lot of the things that stimulated us away from cricket were taken away from us with just being stuck in bubbles in hotel rooms, etc. So I think it's something that we've learned as cricketers, how important your downtime is and how you need to learn to use that really wisely. And this is the first summer that we've had as English cricketers where we've basically been on the cricket treadmill and gone from tournament to tournament, you know, with the Commonwealth especially being added into that. It felt like a really tight schedule. So I think it's definitely something that as females we need to get more used to. But, you know, it's something, again, I think if you've got your hobbies and your interests away from cricket and you can switch off and get your downtime that way, then I think that'll really help keep you fresh for cricket. So, yeah, it's something that we're learning about. But, you know, I've always been a massive advocate for talking about mental health. And I think being able to be open about how you're feeling and have those conversations with the right people means that if you need the downtime and you need to get away from the environment, then that's, you know, people are there to help you with that. And that was the same with Nat's case. So I think we're in a lucky position to have people in charge who understand it as well. But yeah, it's difficult. I think you really do have to manage your time quite well.
And since we speak about mental health, it's so important to be happy. And we guys are really happy when we see you, sharing pictures in that yellow CSK jersey. It looks so good. And why I'm saying this, because being an ardent fan of MS Dhoni, whatever we see related to him on social media, it's always good, isn't it?
Yeah, I get so much feedback when I'm talking about Chennai Super Kings. But yeah, honestly, the following from that team that has even crossed over into my career, and I have so many people now following my cricket because of Chennai. It is really special. So, but I think that's something that the club can be quite proud of, that they have those amazing fans who are willing to support anyone and anything that is related to it. I think it's pretty amazing.
Like here in India, we grew up watching MS Dhoni, entering the arena as a cricketer and then becoming one of the successful Indian skippers. But for you, what makes you a fan of his?
So I started supporting CSK back in 2018. And yeah, I've been I think everyone's an MS Dhoni fan who supports CSK. I don't think I've met anyone who doesn't like him as a person or as a cricketer. But I've just always loved the way that he's led his teams. I always think he looks really calm and collective. And being a captain myself, I know how stressful those situations can be. So to be able to I guess show that, even if you're not feeling it, is quite a skill. And he's obviously been such a servant for his country and the teams that he plays for. And he's a great player as well. I've not even talked about his cricket. So you would just always feel like anything could happen when he's out there playing, which I think is the mark of a really special player.
You share a very great camaraderie with our captain Harmanpreet. And since now she is handling the team in two formats, T20 and ODIs as well. So what would you like to say about her as a player, as a captain?
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of playing with Harman for a few seasons back in England when she comes over and plays in our franchise cricket. And we've always got on so well. We bonded over the fact that everyone thinks we look like sisters. Everyone thinks we look alike. So that was what initially bonded us. But she's just a really great girl. I think, a lot of people see her playing her cricket and that's all they get to see of her. I've obviously been lucky to spend a lot of time with her away from cricket. And she's just a really humble character. She's hardworking. She's a bit of a perfectionist in the way she trains, which then obviously goes into the cricket matches. You can see that with how she plays. And she's just a wonderful player. I've seen her take games away from people. I've seen about how she did yesterday, where she really played a performance that her team needed. So I think she's got a lot of skills, and obviously seeing that come out with her captaincy as well. And also playing against her as a captain in the Women's T20 Challenge back in March. I thought the way that she handled her team, which is quite difficult when you don't know all the players and you don't play together a lot. I thought she just dealt with it really well, and was probably one of the reasons why they won that game in the final, because of how she used Sophie Eccleston, how she spoke to Sophie Eccleston as well. Sophie fed that back to me, and she said she was really calm as well. And maybe a bit of MS Dhoni in there, but she's just a brilliant person, and it's always nice when we get to either play against each other or with each other.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
No problem. Thank you so much.